Yo, 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 what's up? It's your girl, Dutchi Dani, checking in. I know it's been a while, but I'm back in the car. I feel like my last episode I did might have been from the car. No, it wasn't. It wasn't. It was in the normal studio of the house. So the thing is, I've missed you all. I think I've missed my own voice because there's a different sound that goes along with this, and we may be picking up some sound from the car, but I gotta stay cool in here. The last time I tried to record in the car was a bit much because it was hot, and also it was just crazy situation. But anyways, I'm interested in knowing how you guys are doing. I missed you, like I said. I've been going through a lot of changes, a lot of losses, transitions. So it's kind of good to, I don't even want to say be back, but be back. You know what I mean? Um, I lost one of my favorite aunts this summer, and I would say that kind of put a little, put a nail in the tire for sure. And I like being honest with you guys. This is it's cathartic, it's therapeutic, and it's a good release. But I think it's real, it's honest, and so I think people need that, and people require people that they can trust and that they can hear and are willing to listen to them. So I've gained weight. I'm like the heaviest I've been in my life, and it's totally different. Like I said, when I started this last year, I just, was still recovering from an injury, still am recovering, and I think that's been part of it. I think, losing my grandmother, losing now my aunt, not liking my job, you know, then on the other plus side, being happy in a relationship, things like that. So many different things in the pot that have changed it up. But right now, where I'm at, I've decided that I have got to be more dedicated to myself. And I mean, I could even take a moment probably and listen to the first episode where I talk about loving yourself more than anyone else loves you. And I don't think I've been loving myself properly. And so I took some time last week, went to the vitamin shop and cashed in over there. Like, I spent more money on vitamins than I did on the groceries to follow, yo. Like, talk about hashtag adulting, right? Crazy. So the thing about it is, I have made a decision that I'm not going to make any more excuses. Anxiety doesn't matter. Deaths and deaths in the family doesn't matter. Being the heaviest you ever been in your life doesn't matter. There's just no excuse to not do something, and the only person that can make me do anything is me. So therefore, I've got to pick up the pace and make sure that I'm making things happen and keep the ball rolling. Something else that I feel like I've not been great at is let me back up. I think it's not what I've not been great at, but more so what I've allowed to be a distraction. So being sorrowful about people not being in your life. So kind of like loss of relationships or changes in relationship dynamics and friendships. And I'm really big on friendships. Like, I really care about the people in my circle. And sometimes I feel like I care about them more than myself, in that I really put value into those relationships. And what I've realized is that you really just got to take the time to put that same energy and focus into yourself, because what happens is, oftentimes what I found is like 9 out of the 10 people in your circle are always going to put in time for themselves first. And I might be putting in half of my time, and I'm saying five because 5 out of 10, but 50% of my time into trying to make sure I keep those relationships, I manage them, I nurture them, and then to notice I don't even see the reciprocation of that. And so it's good, but I think it's allowed me to see the difference between the intimacy versus the isolation. And so, hey, it's like this article I wrote years ago. Let me pull it up for you guys. It was on growth, and I don't know if I've told you all about this before, but it was called 7 Reasons Growth is Tough but Inevitable. And I wrote it back in 2014. I think it was, I'm glad I did it. And, shoot, I mean, I could just go through that, I think, for the rest of the episode. So we'll do that. But I think it's important right now for me to revisit. Sometimes it's important for us to revisit things that we've done in the past that we need to look at now as we go forward. And at the time, this article was called 7 Reasons Growth is Tough but Inevitable. Oh, let me give you the reason why I'm saying this. Because right now I feel like I'm definitely still growing for sure, and we should always be growing. But there are things, signifiers that have allowed me to see that I am in a period of growth, and there are things that I need to be doing or not doing and understanding and taking it for what it is to allow for that growth to properly take place and for me not to end up in a premature state or in a detrimental state because of that growth, because I'm stunting my own growth or I'm hindering it. And I don't want to do any of those things. I want to nurture it. I want to feed it the best manure possible, right? No BS, but real manure, real composting. And so I think I've been creating that compost and I've been curating it and nurturing it. But now it's time to really, mix it in with what's going on. So 7 Reasons Growth is Tough but Inevitable by Dani Dutchi. I oftentimes think about growth. It intrigues me to consider how some people continue to be successful and others not so much. Right? It sounds totally like what Dream Deferred is about. Why is it so difficult for everyone to breed similar results in their lives? Why is growth so painful and costly? These are things that continuously baffle me, and I continue to observe them. If you watch people who are prosperous and those who struggle, monitor how they handle crossroads where growth is inevitable. So the first one is growing pains. Many times while we experience growth, it is often accompanied by pain. Think about labor. A woman grows and grows to birth a baby who has grown inside of her for months. Meanwhile, the process can be paralleled with grisly pains. When children are developing physically, they grow in various ways: height, weight, head circumference, shoe size, etc. Growing pains are most commonly associated with our bone stretching. Did you notice not everyone has growing pains? Or maybe it is that we did not all notice when we were actually growing. Growth can be painful for some of us. In our adult lives, we often feel discomfort when we have to grow. There was a difference in our work of course loads as we got promoted or graduated to the next educational level. As much as we knew we were progressing, there was still an increase in the burden. So that was growing pains, number 1, the first reason why growth is tough but inevitable. Number 2 is size changes and things become worn. It's almost impossible to wear the same shoes we learned to walk into adulthood. They simply will not fit us. If I am training to be a great athlete, I will go through several shoes during the course of novice to expert. My footwear will most likely become more tailored, expensive, and specific to my skill set and task. We all have that favorite pair of jeans that were our go-to for going out events. Well, eventually those same jeans that we love become worn. Maybe we cannot fit them. Oh, tell me about it. Because we have gained a few pounds or lost several. They are so worn that there's not now a hole conveniently located on the bottom hem or between the thighs, and the list goes on. Those jeans either are then given away or they turn into jeans we wear to cut the grass. My point being that as we truly grow, we need attire to outfit us at the next level. So you can think of this attire as the technology you need, the software, the equipment, the schooling, the networking events. Things are going to change as you elevate yourself, and you have to be willing to put into those circles. You have to be willing to, like invest in yourself, and sometimes invest in your wardrobe. Like you can't, think that it's okay to probably not have like a suit in your closet, not have like a pair of nice jeans, not have like a couple of nice solid button-ups or polos or whatever it is. And just, I think even just researching the people who you admire and want to emulate, what is it they wear every day? What software are they using? Which camera lenses are they using? Etc., right? Step 3, it's not even really a step, right? This is reason number 3. Growth is usually gradual, not in spurts. Unless you were that kid who always stood out in every class picture, then you probably grew progressively in height. No matter how much you cried, wished, or prayed, we didn't suddenly sprout up inches. I just knew with a parent over 6 feet would yield me at least 5 and 6 inches. Nope, no luck. The point of the matter is that growth occurs more times than not in a regular continuum. It may not transpire in an even manner, but it does happen. Many times progress is not visible to those looking in. Your family, friends, and peers may not recognize your growth. Do not let that discourage your perspective. Just because others cannot fathom where you are headed or visualize your development, it does not mean it is not occurring. Remember, evolution takes millions of years. So just because you haven't seen that big spurt or jump in your followers, you're like, I posted the Shiggy challenge, nobody watched it. Why don't I have a 1,000 more followers? Why, right? And some of us find ourselves trying to, I think, judge or evaluate our growth based on not seeing enough results the next day. But anyone I think that you see is there, oh, they were overnight success. They really did not blow up overnight, even though they did, right? So like these people that go viral, they were working usually at something and something and something and something and something. And then there was this one thing that happened that made everyone realize like, oh, there's this person. But now in this day and age of technology and media, we know that in order for you to go viral or do any of these things, usually it takes just that one video, but there's a science to it. There's a post, there's something that's going to make you go viral. And, you know, I don't think going viral is everything, but it is something, and it is some way to kind of measure someone's success, but it's not the end all be all. But just remember that it takes time. The fourth reason is shifts in perspective. With evolution comes new outlook. Not everyone believes in evolution, nor does everyone believe in God. Some people do not believe in either. Time changes things, and with time comes inevitable transformation. Even growing taller allows you to gain vision at a renewed perspective. Now, a shift in perspective does not mean your perspective is more valuable than the next person's. It simply means that you need to be visualizing things from that level to attain your newfound level of growth. A new perspective may mean that you have simply elevated your way of comprehending the world around you. Do not become fearful in adjusting your sights in the telescope. Fine-tune your focus and gaze at a fresh galaxy of opportunity. I don't believe the sky is the limit at all. Think about it. Right? So sometimes like we get trapped in thinking like, oh my gosh, shoot for the stars, shoot for this. It's like there are things past what we can see. And I think if you label your ceiling, then that's as high as you can go. And then you think, well, I reached this point, then you think you're at the top. But it's the thing about it is that you can grow further. Also, as you grow, you change your circle, you change your equipment, you learn new things. Then you realize that you have now leveled up, right? And so at that new level, there's going to become new challenges. There's going to be things that you see like, oh, wow, now that I know this, now I know this. And then I realized there's a lot more that I just don't know. So just because you're now standing on top of your car in the middle of a flood does not mean that all the problems are over, right? You now can maybe just see a bit more and you have a better vantage point. Reason number 5, doing it alone or a lack of believers. This one is probably so important right now as I really try to roll out Mark Minds. It's like have a team, not have a team, build things out, pull in my brand ambassadors, launch my next event. All those things come to mind when I'm thinking about being alone or not having people that believe in you. I want to tell you, first of all, do not quit what you're doing just because you feel as if there are people that don't believe in you. Sometimes you have people that believe in you who are waiting to watch you blow up to then reach out to you, or you have people who are just like silent partners. They're waiting to, I think, invest in you later as you continue to grow. So what I would say is just keep the faith, keep pushing. All right, so no one wants to really be alone or have to do things by themselves. I don't. I'm such a people person. As creatures of habit, we yearn for the company of others. Although many times to mature, we have to sometimes leave certain things or people behind. It is usually never an easy feat. In a race, in order to be in first place, one must let someone come in second place. The second place person does not usually move on to the next level of competition, best friends or not. LeBron James, guys, like I said, I wrote this in 2014, but I love LeBron James. Sorry. Oh my gosh. Let's not even get on that caveat, but I'm not a Lakers fan. I am a LeBron James fan. I was pretty hell-bent on the fact that I would not be purchasing any Lakers attire because I cannot stand the Lakers. But, I just have not made up my mind yet. It's definitely a sticky situation. But let's just talk about a better time in life, right? LeBron James is not concerned with whether or not Dwayne Wade and the Heat make it to the playoffs. Many of us get nervous when a promotion is dependent upon our availability to relocate to a place where we know no one. We get cold feet, family and friends sometimes even discourage us from taking the opportunity. If our perspective is cloudy or we have not reached a proper level of maturation, we just may stay put and miss out on the occasion for growth. more often than not, our level of growth is dependent on our willingness to